Hello everyone. In this video I am going to explain you about shear force and bending moment diagram for a horizontal beam and thrust diagram also. But here the beam is inclined loads are acting. In my previous video I explained you about cantilever beam with point loads and UDL, but here hinge support and roller support is there and loads are acting inclinedly. First we have to resolve all the loads. After that we have to calculate the remaining calculations. The first one is inclined load at C. So inclined load at C is having horizontal component. So we know that in engineering mechanics we learn about how to resolve a force in inclined force. If suppose this is our axis and this is this inclined load 100 newtons, if we resolve this in a horizontal direction, we represent this as cos. If suppose this is theta, it is cos theta. If this is p cos theta, like that we represent. So here our load is 100 cos 60. So we represent, I resolve this force in a x-axis, nothing but a horizontal direction. 100 into cos 60. So 0.5. Cos 60 is 0.5. I got 50 newtons. So now this inclined load I resolved as a horizontal component. And next, when it comes to vertical component, we took it as sin theta. Okay, so 100 sin 60. So I got 86.6 newtons. So like that I solved at inclined D also. Inclined load at D, 200 cos 45, I got this value, and vertical component 200 sin 45, I got this value. Like that at point E also I resolved all the forces, inclined forces. After that, a beam is supported on rollers at B. This beam supported at, this is a roller support. Okay, hence roller support at B will not provide any horizontal reaction. Why? Because already the support is roller. Roller support is nothing but a moving support. So there is no horizontal forces in this roller support. And next, a horizontal reaction will be only provided at hinged end. So this is a hinge portion. The symbol represents a hinge portion at A. So the horizontal reaction will be at A point only. So horizontal reaction at A, that equal to summation of all forces in x direction. So first one is 50. We got 50. And second one is 141.4. 141.4 horizontal components. And next one is, this one is 259.8. So I got 451.20 newtons. So these are all summation of all forces in x direction, nothing but a horizontal direction. So now we have to find out the reactions of RA and RB. How? By taking the moments of all forces at A. So I am going to taking moment at all forces at A. So moment at A equal to 0. Moment formula is nothing but force into perpendicular distance. So RB. So where is RB? So RB is here. So RB, this is anti-clockwise moment. RB is anti-clockwise moment minus RB into this total distance 1, 2, 3, 4. This is perpendicular distance to this force. So RB into 4 minus RB, anti-clockwise moment, plus 86.6 into 1. So 86.6 into 1 is nothing but this one. This is the vertical component. So vertical component of this C. So vertical component is nothing but like this. We resolve this component as vertical. So 86.6. So force into perpendicular distance. So here now 86.6 to A, it is a clockwise movement. So 86.6 into 1, force into perpendicular distance. So 86.6 into 1. Like that I wrote C, D point also and E point. So D value we know that these are all vertical components, 141.4 and next 150 into perpendicular distance. So I got RB as 204.85 newtons. And after that I substitute RA equal to total vertical loads minus RB. Okay, so total vertical loads are, we added all the vertical loads and I subtract the RB value, I got RA. So we find both the unknowns. Unknowns are RA and RB. So I got both the unknowns RA and RB. After that we have to calculate shear forces and bending moment. So shear force calculation. Shear force at A, that is nothing but RA, 173.15 newtons. And we know that there is no force between one load and one load. From here to here there are no force, so in between there is no force. The shear force remains constant up to here. So shear force C, A and C are equal because there are no shear force. Up to shear force suddenly changes at C due to the point load and shear force at C. That is nothing but 173.15 minus 86.6. So 86.6 is already we calculated. That is the load which we got as a vertical component. Okay, so here the value is 86.6 newtons. So from here to here there is no shear force, but after this load, I mean left hand side of this C load, there is no, shear force has RA value up to left hand side. After that, after this load, the right hand side has changed. So that is nothing but RA minus this value. So I got, suddenly it changes. So that's why I wrote this one. And next, shear force remains constant, C and D is equal to 86.65 newtons, and shear force at D 86.55 minus 141.40. I got this value. And shear force remains constant at E and D is equal to minus 54.85. And shear force at B. Why? Because there are no loads in between these two and these two. So I got minus 204.85 newtons. After calculating the shear force, we have to calculate bending moment. So bending moment at A equal to 0. So we are taking moment at A equal to 0, bending moment at B equal to 0. Why? Because there is no moment at B, because already it is a moving load. Okay, so after that, bending moment at C, formula we know that force into perpendicular distance, I wrote the values. And bending moment at D, force into perpendicular distance, I resolved all the values. This is the D. So force into perpendicular distance, force into perpendicular distance, force into perpendicular distance, and force into perpendicular distance. I wrote all the values. Like that, bending moment at D. I calculated all the values. I got this value. See here, I got the negative value and I got the positive value. And next, thrust diagram. So thrust diagram is nothing but a graphical representation of the loads which is acting in y-axis and x-axis. Okay, so thrust diagram is due to horizontal components including horizontal reactions. So axial force at A, we are representing these forces in the thrust diagram. Horizontal force, we know that horizontal force at A, and axial force at C, HA minus 50. Okay, axial force at C. So axial force at C is nothing but this one. That is horizontal component, this one minus this C. So I got two values. Okay, 451.20 minus 50. Okay, like that I calculated all the values. Next, 401.2 minus 141.40. These are all only horizontal components. And next, 259.8 minus 259.8. I got 0. Hence, axial force between E and B is 0. Okay. After that, we have to represent the bending moment, shear force, and thrust diagram. So this is our question. So first I have to represent. I wrote all the loads. This is hinge portion and this is roller portion. I wrote RA value, I wrote RB value, and I wrote the vertical components and horizontal components. After that, first we have to draw the SFD. So SFD here, first I got 173.15 newtons, RA value positive, and there is no loads in between this, so up to here it is constant, and 86.6 it is down, and next up to here 86.55 we know the value up to C to D, and next 141.4 it is drop here, and next 54.85 this is the value, and next 204.85. okay, so this is the shear force diagram. This is negative axis and this is positive axis, and next one is bending moment diagram. So we have to locate the maximum bending moment. So this is the maximum bending moment up to here 173.15 Newton we got. I'll show you bending moment at C, because A and B is here. Bending moment at A is 0, bending moment at B is 0, and bending moment at C is 173.15 inclined line, and 259.9 259.7 is the maximum bending moment, and 204.8 at E, and again 0. And next thruster diagram, where we represent the horizontal components. 451.2 newtons, and here up to this 50 newtons and 401.2 we got the values. Axial forces, these are all axial forces. Okay, by using this we represent this thruster diagram. I hope you understood this. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.